Hello students, standard 6th. In physics, chapter number 13, fun with magnets. We are nearly at the end of this chapter. In last session we saw that magnets are used to decide the directions. Because the property of a magnet is that when we suspend it to rotate freely, then it always come at rest in the particular north-south directions. And using that property, the travelers in the ancient time, they used to take natural magnets with them, and by suspending it with the thread, they were deciding the directions in the unknown places. Then after that, in the modern days, a compass is made, in which in a wooden or glass case with a glass cover, there is a magnetic needle pivoted on the nail so that it can rotate freely and always also get steady in the north-south direction. Similarly, if you take a magnetic needle and pass it through the cork and put it in the water, then when the water will be steady, then also you will notice that magnetic needle will come at rest again in the north-south direction. It means that in the sea also, if you want to know the directions, you can use this magnetic needle or the compass. Now we are going to learn today about the interaction between two magnets. We know that the magnets, doesn't matter which shape magnet, every magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Now we have to check the interaction when we bring the two magnets near to each other. Then what happens between the poles? For that, as they showed here, they have taken cars. They have taken toy cars, not a real car. Take two small toy cars and label them as A and B. And then what did they do? They place a bar magnet on top of each car and fix them with the rubber bands as shown here in the figure. Car A, car B, and on the top of them they put the magnets and fix it with the rubber band. Now what we have to do is that first we have to bring the toy cars close to each other such that, suppose this is the magnet of one car A and this is for car B. Now what we have to do, that this is the north pole of this is the south pole. Here also the north pole and south pole. Now here you can see that south pole of the first car is coming near to the north pole of the second car. And what happens that you have to note. You have to note the whatever is going on. So you have to write down the conclusion. Similarly, then convert it. Means any one of them, suppose this B car, you convert it and bring S. Means the same pole, like poles, come together. And observe what's going on. Similarly, again bring 2 and together. And in this situation also, you have to note your observations. There are 2 possibilities. Either both the cars will collide with each other, or the second is that they can run away from each other. So you will notice that when the like poles, like means same poles, means north pole of both the cars or south poles of both cars will come together, they will repel each other. Means they will run away, the car will go in opposite direction. But if you bring the unlike poles together, means N and S comes together, then the toy car will collide with each other. It shows that when like poles bring together near to each other, they repel each other. Means they will run away from each other. But if you bring unlike poles together, they will attract each other. So here I write down that like poles of 2 different magnets repel each other, means N or SS. So north poles of both magnets or south poles of the both magnets, if you bring together, they will run away, they will repel. While unlike poles of 2 different magnets, means NS or SN, attract each other. In place of toy car, you can do another one also thing, that take a stand and on the stand suspend a bar magnet and then keep another bar magnet in your hand and do the same thing. Bring the like poles together. What happens? Bring unlike poles nearer. What happens? You will notice the same thing. Means the like poles will repel each other while the unlike poles will attract each other. Now, it is said that repulsion is the sure test for magnetism. It means that suppose you are given 2 identical bars, iron bars, and one of them is magnet, but the other one is not magnet. Then how will you decide which is the magnet and which is not a magnet? Here, what can we do that? You have to take any one of the ends near to each other. Obviously, it will attract. And if you do the other poles also, they will attract each other. So you will not be able to decide with the attraction. But if you take another magnet, if you take another permanent magnet and bring near the both ends of the both iron bars, if it is a normal piece of iron, it will be attracted by both the sides. But if it will be a magnet, then when the like poles come nearer, they will repel. It means that in the repulsion only you can check whether the magnet is there or not. So magnetism, for the test of the real magnetism, the repulsion is the true test. Because magnet can attract the opposite poles also, unlike poles also, and it attracts the simple iron articles also. But only two magnets can repel each other when the like poles bring together. The another important thing about a magnet I want to explain you. We know that a magnet has two poles, north pole and south pole. Now suppose I cut them like that here. You know that there is north pole here, south pole here. Now if I cut this part, I cut this part, I cut it into three parts. Then in which part there will be north or the south pole? Generally, it will come in mind that this part will have north pole, this part will have south pole, and the middle part will have nothing. But actually, when we cut the two magnets, when we cut a magnet into two or more parts, then the poles cannot be isolated. Means in one of the piece, only north pole cannot be there, or in one of the piece it cannot be only south pole. But whenever you cut the poles like this, suppose you cut the poles from here it was N, here it was S, and if you cut like that, then what will happen? Automatically the opposite side will get the another pole. Means here automatically the south pole will be created, and in the next piece of iron also the remaining part will act as north pole. So when you cut in pieces, you cannot get only magnet with north pole or only magnet with south pole. Means we cannot get poles of a magnet isolated. So you make how many? Three pieces also. Then all the three pieces will have both north and south pole. Automatically the other end will get that pole. So we cannot get isolated them. Now last thing to remember is that if you do not take care of the magnets, then magnet can lose their power of magnetism, or it can become weak also, and that is known as demagnetization, the process by which a magnet loses its magnetism. Means it will not have power to attract that magnetic material if we don't take care properly of them. By which methods can they get demagnetized? Is that by hammering the magnet strongly. If you hammer them very strongly, then if you hit them very times, so many times, then it will lose the magnetism. First it can get weak, and then it can lose the power of magnetism. Second thing, by heating a magnet strongly. If you put it in a very hot flame, and then if you take out, then maybe it can lose its magnetism. Similarly, by getting down, means by heating it a magnet strongly, and then by keeping it in east-west direction. Means suppose we know that it is only in the north-south direction, but by keeping it in the east-west direction also, it is chances that they can lose the magnetize, or by dropping them from the height. So many times it will drop. Then slowly it will lose the magnetism. So now it means that we have to take care that the magnet should not be hammered. It should not be given high temperature burn, or do not drop them from the height. Similarly, when we store the magnets, when the bar magnets are there, we have to keep them only in pair. Don't store a single bar magnet. When you store them, keep two magnets together, keeping their unlike poles together and apart with the piece of wood between them, as shown in this figure. Here, two bar magnets are shown here, and between them there is a piece of wood, and also at the end of their magnet we have to keep a piece of iron so that we can store them and the magnetism cannot be damaged. Similarly, horseshoe magnet also, we have to keep piece of iron at the end so that we can protect them. Also, we have to remember that all the magnets, when we store them or use them, keep them away from the mobiles or the television or the cassettes or CD player or CD, etc. Because they also use the magnetic materials inside, and therefore because of the interaction between them, they can damage that mobiles and computer, CDs, etc. And therefore you should keep them away from these things that I already explained you, that music system or television, mobiles, CDs, and etc. etc. So here we are going to finish the chapter. Will be followed by the PDF, and if any confusion, write down in the comment section. Thank you very much.